Y'all know my favorite thing. I always feel like, why are you so worried about my confidence? Why are you thinking I'm so full of myself? I wish you would be more full of yourself so you can stop being so full of me. Say it all the time. Y'all know I mean what I say. Let's get into this Shift Talk Sunday because I am feeling it for real. Okay, so welcome back to another Shift Talk Sunday. My name is Shamar Latanya. For those who already know me, welcome back. You know who I am. But I really want to talk to the ones who don't know me, who are just finding me. I want to talk to the ones who are wondering if they can be their unique, authentic self and find their relationship with God and find their purpose. I want to talk to the ones who don't always feel like they always have it all together and who are always really wondering, what's my next step and what's my purpose and can I even do this being who I am? I really want to talk to you because you're the reason why I do this. I want to talk to the person who goes into a service and sits in the back because they're not sure where they fit or if they even belong or if this is even for me. I want to talk to you because you are who I am doing this for. You are the reason for my entire shift. I want to reach people like you and remind you that you have a purpose. You have a unique purpose, and you can do that boldly and confidently without having to be like anybody else, no matter how you are, flaws and all, because we all got them. So, if that is you, I want to welcome you. This is your safe space. Watch the videos, comment, subscribe, like, follow me on my socials because this space, wherever I am, it's a safe space for you. So, welcome. I'm glad you're here. I'm Shamar Latanya. I am an author. I am a speaker. I am a certified Christian life coach. And gosh, what else am I? I'm a whole lot, child. I'm a whole lot. But I want to welcome you here. My main goal for these series is to help every woman shifting, every person shifting, honestly, and to do it as authentically as possible and provide this safe space. So we are going to get into it. Today's topic is one that is also near and dear to my heart. You're going to hear me say that quite a bit. Like, honestly, when I used to coach cheerleading, they used to always say, we were running routines, I would say things like, all right, one more time. All right, one more time. And they never believed me because one more time would turn into many more times, right? That's kind of how it's going to be with Shift Talk Sundays. You're going to hear me say over and over again, this one is near and dear to my heart. This is a topic that's near and dear to me. They all are. So this one is near and dear to my heart for real. This one, she's too sure of herself. The difference between arrogance and confidence. I would say that this is one of my top because I feel like as women, we fight to get to a level of pure confidence and joy, and not the fake kind of confidence that is based in how we look or anything like that, but we fight to get to this confidence that is us to our core, right? And then we fight to get to that confidence, and then we don't maintain it, or we always feel like we have to kind of like explain it away because most people around us aren't at that pure level of confidence. So it comes off as arrogance when it's not. And then people who have not reached their own level of confidence then project that onto us. And if we're not careful, we'll take all that in. And here's why I'm saying that. What had happened to me was, I remember around 2017, 2018, I was really building, my confidence was like peaking, right? My confidence was like hitting its top part. I was really starting to come into my own. I had shifted from full-time work to full-time entrepreneurship. I didn't want to. I was like layoffs happened. I was forced into that. And I was really beginning to find my way and understand that, wow, years ago I didn't think I could be a businesswoman. Now here I am doing it, right? Has it always been perfect? No, but I'm doing it. And that came with this level of confidence, this level of, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to do this. And so we would do these things, and I would do these things. I would enter these spaces with that high level of confidence. And what I did not realize is because when you're a confident woman, you also have created your own world. And that continues on as your confidence truly increases and you experience joy. I did not realize that confidence, people on the outside looking in saw it as something different. nor should that have bothered me. But it did in more ways than one. And so people would say to me, oh, when I first met you, I thought you were so annoying and you annoyed me. And I'm sitting here like, that's crazy, because all I wanted to do was help and be a part of something. And I felt like I was in a safe space to be my bubbly, confident, happy self. And now you're telling me that I annoyed you. And I'm gonna be honest, it was in church. I hate that, but this is where we are. So these are people that I went to church with that were saying these things about me. Like, I thought you were annoying. And I'm like, I really wasn't trying to be. Like, I was excited to be in this new space. And now I find out that y'all don't even like me. So how do I come in here and worship and pray and help and be excited about pushing something forward when half the members don't like me because because I'm overly confident, as they thought. So then I would hear things like, oh, she's too sure of herself. And I remember when I heard that, like, what does that even mean? Am I not supposed to be sure of my abilities? Am I not supposed to be sure of who I am? Am I not supposed to be sure of what I can do? I've survived everything that should have broken me. Like, I even survived my own self. I tried to commit suicide. I survived my own self. So how is it, what do you mean I'm too sure of myself? Am I not supposed to be? Am I supposed to question myself at every turn? I'm not going to do that. But unfortunately, hearing that, I began to think, well, dang, am I too much? Is it overwhelming? Am I doing the most? And so in order to kind of make them comfortable, I started shrinking back. And let me just tell you, when I started shrinking back, I had the worst year in business I'd ever had. Ever. I wasn't pulling contracts. I wasn't making money. My brand wasn't moving because I wasn't being my true authentic self. They loved it though. They started to connect with me, but I had to like dim my own self in order to get them to connect with me. Now I can look back on it and say, I will never do that again. I am no longer at that particular organization, and it has been, and in leaving there, I really had to rebuild that confidence. I was no longer confident in myself as a woman. I was no longer confident in myself as a business owner. I was no longer confident in myself as a woman of God. I just was no longer confident with myself, and I had to rebuild that. Thankfully, the ministry that I'm sitting under now, and I ended up meeting a pastor who was like, listen, I'm just going to pastor you. And he allows me to be my authentic self as a minister, as a woman of God. I can come in there and be loud and be bougetto and be with my swag and with my full face of makeup and with my little earrings, and because I'm allowed that safe space, that true safe space, and I'm around people who have their own businesses, and we're bouncing off of each other because I'm in that true safe space. Now I feel like that really ushered me into this unshakable woman that I am right now. So the first lesson is, it is not going to work trying to dim your own light to make someone else comfortable. Now later on, that confidence ended up being what they played off of. And then they started building their own confidence, and then they took off. And I am happy for everybody. But it just goes to show that you don't move or break from your confidence and what you know about yourself. Because 9 times out of 10, when someone says that to you, it's because they have not, your confidence rattles them because they haven't reached that level yet that they would like to reach. I mean, the things I heard was insane. Like, oh my God, she's giving me all these business tips, and really I just want her to be quiet, but actually I'm just listening. And I'm like, I didn't even know you were feeling that way. The funny thing about it is, I believed in you so much that I wanted to share everything I knew with you so you could use it, or hoping that it would help you or be beneficial to you in any way. because I believed in you and your gifting so much. And now I'm later finding out that you took that as arrogance. Who? So, we are going to get into this week's Shift Talk Sunday. There is a difference, and I call it she's too sure of herself. Let me just tell you something about taking what someone says negative about you and turning it around. She's too sure of herself. When that was said to me, I turned that joint into a blog post. I turned that joint into a ebook. I turned that joint into a little mini class. I turned that joint into a coaching session. Like, I monetized that bad boy, and I do it again. I'm doing it again. So let's get into, there is a difference between being arrogant and being confident. All right. So, I didn't have to do a cut screen because I'm ready. Like, y'all gonna get this. I am ready. All right. So, you've heard my part of the story. I'm sure that you all can relate to it. One of my cheerleaders used to say this thing. Her social media handle used to be, "Please excuse my confidence." And I remember asking her that one time, like, what does that mean? And she said, well, everyone thinks I'm arrogant because I refuse to walk with my head down and because I walk with my head up and I know who I am. And it's like, okay, please excuse my confidence. And I thought that was so dope. Her name was Aaliyah Seabrook. And I thought that was so dope, and I never forgot that. And that really has become like my thing as well. Like, okay, like, you're gonna have to excuse my confidence. But like, let's really get into what is arrogance and what is confidence, because I do believe that sometimes we can be so overly confident that it borderlines on arrogant. But to know that, you have to break it down. So the first thing that we're gonna do, y'all, I got notes. I got notes upon notes. The first thing that we're going to do, we are going to break down the definition of arrogant. I'm bouncing between my phone notes and my notes, okay? There's not going to be many cut screens in this video because we on it today. The first definition of arrogant, there are two. Arrogant is an exaggerating or disposed to exaggerate one's own worth or importance, often by an overbearing manner, an arrogant official. The second one, showing an offensive attitude of superiority, proceeding from or characterized by arrogance or an arrogant reply. Okay, so let's get this out of the way. Someone who is arrogant is, I'm looking at my notes, is overbearing, controlling, thinks that they are superior than others, often has these delusions of grandeur, which I'm gonna pull that out, because sometimes in order to succeed, you kind of need delusions of grandeur. Let's take that out. Let's stick with overbearing, controlling, and look at my notes. Superiority, often looking down on others, especially if you came up in the game, forgetting where you came up from. If you have been in a relationship with a narcissist or in a friendship with or friends with a narcissist, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you're watching this and you are a narcissist and it sounds like you, never mind, you're not going to know. But that's what arrogance is. So when we think about arrogance, you know how I do. You know I'm going to lean into scripture, boo-boo. Let me get my little notes, child. I need glasses, but we're not going to talk about that right now. But when we get into, when I think about arrogance, I think about King Nebuchadnezzar in Daniel chapter 3. Okay? King Nebuchadnezzar was a king who was so, like, my man in Daniel chapter 3 actually erected this huge statue. I think it was like some astronomical size, like 90 feet or something like that. This huge golden statue of himself. Now look, player, if you want to love on yourself that much, there are plenty of us who have pictures of ourselves on our walls or on their lock screen. I, have plenty of pictures of myself. If you are on my social media, I'm always posting a picture of myself. So if you want to love on yourself that much, cool. If you got the resources to build yourself a statue, that's on you. No one's going to tell you what to do with your coins, okay? So King Nebuchadnezzar builds his big statue to himself. He loves himself clearly. He is superior to everyone else. And I believe that connotation of building it that high is to remind others of how superior he is to you, okay? Cool. King Nebuchadnezzar, do you, boo-boo. Love yourself. However, it was what he did after that made him arrogant. It was that, I'm just looking at my notes. It was that, whenever you hear the sound of the horn, the flute, the harp, the lyre, the psaltery, Stop what you're doing and bow down to my image. And if you do not, I am going to place you in a thing of fire. Child, if you don't go on somewhere, look, child, ain't got time. Look, boy, bye. First of all, I can imagine that being a king in that time, the taxes that were levied, the rules that were put in place, like you're that much better than me, and now I gotta bow to you. You ain't God. You ain't God. On some real stuff. I wish I would. Let me tell y'all something. I will mop the ocean floor before I ever bow to someone that's not God. I will vacuum the beach before I ever bow to someone that's not God. I will braid the grass before I ever bow to someone that's not God, and before I ever allow someone to think they have some type of superiority over me. Braid the grass, vacuum the beach, mop the ocean floor. Now, that was exaggerated. I mean, come on, a 90-foot statue, for real? That was exaggerated. Controlling. I want you to stop what you're doing and give me the attention because I'm better than everything. Overbearing. What is more overbearing than a 90-foot statue? What is more overbearing than someone expecting the entire world to stop for them because when they want, because they are them? What is in that superiority of I'm high, you're low, I'm going to look down on you? It's giving very much Pharaohs. It's giving very much Jezebel. So that is arrogance. Okay, let's be very clear about that. That is arrogance. So let's get into the definition of confidence. We did have to use the cut screen, okay, because I'm like overly excited. When I get overly excited, here's the funny thing. Fun fact: Shamar has a speech impediment. I stutter, and it comes out when I am tired, or I'm nervous, or I'm like overly excited or passionate about something. So I almost stuttered just now. So I often have to like stop and slow myself down, which is what I had to do. So jump screen. All right. Definition of confidence. So the first one is a feeling or consciousness of one's powers or of reliance on one's circumstances. The sentence for that would be had perfect confidence in her ability to succeed, met the risk with brash confidence. I love that word, that sentence. Had perfect confidence in her ability to succeed. You feeling better already, aren't you? You're not arrogant. You're confident. Let's get to the next definition. Okay. Faith or belief that one will act in a right, proper, or effective way. Have confidence in a leader. God is within her. She will not fail. No matter what happens, I believe that I'm going to tackle this in the right way and respond in the right way. You feeling better again, aren't you? You're not arrogant. I'm not going to talk about them. Don't say that. We're not going to talk about them. All right. Number 2. The quality or state of being certitude. They had every confidence of success. Period. 3. The state of feeling certain about the truth of something. Let's wrap all of that in. Let's wrap all of that one. All of the. I'm not going to cut this out. I'm going to leave this in. Because I need you all to understand that by the time you see the videos, they are so edited that you don't understand that I do have this ability to stutter when I get really excited. And I was going to cut this out, but I'm going to leave it in because I want you all to see how I process through the stutter. And I don't let it stop me as a speaker. So, because I'm excited, take a deep breath. I already have my words together. I know what I want to say. I just need to calm down and give it to you all. All right. So that is how I move past my stuttering, my speech impediment. And I hope that helps somebody. Now, let's wrap all of this up together, okay? Feeling or consciousness of one's powers, relying on your circumstances. I have perfect confidence in my ability to succeed. Faith or belief that one will act in a right, proper, or effective way. No matter what comes my way, I know that I'm going to respond to that the way I need to respond. For me, it is in the way that God would expect me to respond. The quality or state of being certain. They had every confidence of success. The state of feeling certain about the truth of something. Those are all, none of that is exaggerating. None of that is controlling. And guess what I noticed about all the definitions? They all start from within, not from without. Arrogance is without. Confidence is within. It starts within. Arrogance is, I have this, I have that, I do this, I do that. Confidence is, I am. Come on, Holy Ghost. And where have we heard that from? When God introduces himself to people, I am. Not a whole lot of different, now we have different names, for provider and healer. And but like initially it is, I am that I am. And that is confidence. It is certain. It is sure. It is the right response. It is knowing that you're certain that you're going to overcome every circumstance. It's intrinsic. Let me tell you something, okay? I am certain about the fact that I made it through everything that was supposed to break me. I'm certain about that. So I get to be confident, okay? I am certain about the fact that I am consciously aware of the power that God has placed within me, because these Shift Talk Sundays have not been easy. There has been week after week, there's something going on. But because I'm so certain that this is what God wants me to do, I push through every technical battle. It is 3:00 on a Sunday morning. And because the thing shut down, I had to re-record. But because I am certain that this is what people need, I am going to do it and push through this at 3 a.m. I am certain about my future because I am certain that I have a hope and a future. I am going to be loud and bold and confident because I know what God has placed in me. And I'm going to reach the point where I love myself fully, and have and did, because I'm certain that that when God made creation, he took a step back and said, it is good. Are you not creation? Yes, I'm is. So I'm certain in all of these things. I'm certain that my mission is to help other people find their uniqueness and get to God and find that power within themselves and their unique voice, to boldly and confidently walk in their purpose. I'm certain about that. It's giving very much, let me actually go to my notes, y'all, because y'all got me going. All right. So it's giving very much my favorite scripture. God is within her, she will not fall. I said it with vulnerability. I said it with everything. With everything that I do, I believe that the reason why I am looked at as so fearless is not because I never faced fear. Fear is an emotion. It's always going to be there. You just don't let it overtake you. You just don't let it stop you. I believe that I tackle everything with a boldness and a fearlessness because I know that no matter what happens, God is not going to let me fall. Like, God wouldn't even let me take out my own self. I tried 3 times to commit suicide. God wouldn't even let that happen. So because I know God is within me, I know that I will not fall. And I will not fail. And if it looks like a fail, it's really just a lesson. So there's that. I'm certain of that. My faith increases my confidence. Okay. And I have to look at my notes for this because I want to make sure I'm getting this right. It is giving very much that Mary Mary song, It's the God in Me. What do you see when you see me? You think you see the hair, the jewelry, the mics, the money, whatever it is you think you see. Really, all you're seeing is God, is the God within me. It's giving very much John 15:5, and I have to read this. I have to read this the right way because I can't play around with the scripture. It's giving very much John 15:5. I am the vine, you are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. Meaning, you're going to be able to do all the things, baby. You're going to be able to do all the things, baby. God is within her, she will not fail. If you remain in God and God remains in you, you're going to be able to do all the things, okay? All the things. Apart from me, you can do nothing, Nebuchadnezzar. I mean, come on now. So, my faith in God increases my confidence. Because I'm connected to my power source, that increases my confidence. Because I'm connected to my power source, I know that there's always going to be something running through me that I can lean into and lean back on. And that's my confidence. Not because I'm so great, because I'm not. And when I say I'm not that great, meaning I'm not so great, meaning I'm flawed, I'm imperfect, I am human, I'm not perfect. But my God is. And so I can rest in that. Giving very much who dwelleth in the secret place of the most shadow of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Mighty. I will say it, my God, He is my rock and my refuge. My God, in Him I trust. Okay. This is also giving very much Jesus saying, I do what I see my Father do. Okay? I do what I see my Father do. It is when we say I do what I see my Father do. If God is showing power, if God is showing miracles, signs, wonders, if God is standing in who He is, I am that I am, I do what I see my Father do. And then Jesus goes on to say to His disciples, you're going to do greater things than me. Oh, okay. So you mean to tell me I don't get the ability to be confident in who I am and whose I am? Because if I'm doing what I see my daddy do, if God is in me and I am in Him, that means that I should be exhibiting power. I should be exhibiting miracle. I should be exhibiting signs. I should be exhibiting wonders. I should be standing in who I am confidently. Man, look. Listen, because I'm a daughter of the Most High, these things shall follow them that believe. Meaning, it's not something I have to beg for or plead for. These things shall follow them. Let me tell you something. Right now. Have you seen my life? Have you seen all the things that I've overcome? Between the alcoholism, depression, sexual assault, suicide attempts. Have you seen the things I'm over? Baby, let me tell you something. I am a miracle, sign, and wonder. Because I'm here. After everything I've made it to, I am a miracle, sign, and wonder. And you're telling me that I don't get to be confident in who I am and who I've grown to be, and the woman of God that God has ushered me into? You're tripping. You are wildin'. You are straight up wildin'. Do you know how much strength and energy it takes to dig yourself out of a dark hole? I'm trying not to get emotional. I have lashes on this week. I'm trying not to get emotional. Do you know how much strength it takes to survive yourself? You know how much strength it takes to heal, to grow, to move forward? Do you know how much strength it takes to stand in confidence when really you feel like you could have broken yourself apart? It takes so much strength and courage to do it. And how dare you get to tell somebody that they're too confident after they survived what could have and should have broken them? You don't get that right. If you're not that confident, you keep it to yourself. But you don't get to tear down the next person that has fought hard and survived to get to where they are. There is a difference between arrogance and confidence. Don't play with me. We're not going to play with this today. We're not playing with it today. Okay. Let's get to these shift talk points. Now that we all know that there is a difference between arrogance and there's a difference between confidence, we're going to get into these shift talk points. Because as I said through my tears, it takes a lot to get to this point. We're not born, not all of us are born into this level of confidence. Many of us have to fight for it, which is why I'm so aggressive about keeping it. Let's get to these shift talk points. How do we fight into this confidence? Let's get into these shift talk points. In 3, 2, 1, let's go. All right, shift talk points. Hey y'all. All right, so let's get into these shift talk points. I am well aware that it takes time to get to this level of confidence, so I do want to give you some stepping stones. All right. The first thing that I'm going to say to you is really tend to your wounds. Shift talk point number 1, tend to your wounds. Please don't act like, I always say, and I don't know where I heard this from, you can't heal what you won't reveal, right? So don't act like you haven't been hurt or knocked back when you have. It's okay to admit that, because while you're already victorious, yes, and victory is prophesied over your life for sure, you will win overall. Of course you will. But it doesn't mean that you don't come out of that battle with some wounds, right? It doesn't mean that victory is attained, yes, but it comes with some wounds. And you can't create a comeback plan without at first acknowledging what happened, those wounds that you have. You all know I'm looking at my notes. the wounds that you have, and taking time to heal so you can go back in with full strength. This might mean you retreating a little bit, pulling back a little bit so you can handle those wounds, handle those issues, and then get back into the ring, well, not even the ring, but get back into life stronger and better than ever. It's really hard to be confident when you're always exhausted. When you let issue on top of issue on top of issue on top of issue pile up like that, it gets really difficult to be super confident, because now you're looking like, okay, that's how we get bitter and not confident. When you process those things out of you and you tend to your wounds and you heal from them, that's powerful. Way more powerful than I'm just strong. I'm walking in, I walk in my strength at all times. But not if it's rooted in bitterness. But if your strength is rooted in healing and the fact that you know you'll make it, that's 1,000 times better. 1,000 times better. So there's that part. Really take time to tend to your wounds. Heal from some things. What do I say every week, y'all? Get you some help. The next thing that is a big key for me is without faith it is impossible to. All right. I don't know what y'all believe in. Some people say universe. I get it. How we do everything over here is God all day, every day. It is God over here. That's just me, respectfully. But in the 11th chapter of Hebrews, I'm looking at my notes, y'all. It gives this amazing account of people who walked in faith. And I have to ask you have to ask yourself, where does your faith lie? My confidence in who I am, really, when I think about God is within her, she will not fall, I have no idea what obstacles are coming around the corner. I have no idea what I'm about to face a lot of times. I have no idea what's coming. No idea. But what I do know is no matter what's coming, I'm going to survive it. No matter what's coming, I'm going to grow through it. No matter what's coming, it's going to add to my victory. It is giving me very much. My faith is no matter how much the thing tries to pull me back, it's giving very much an arrow. You pull that bad boy back, and the more you pull it back, the more resistance there is. When you release it, it releases with greater power, and it's more likely to hit its target. Don't play with me. Like, that is where my faith is. So, I am always believing that there is something greater than me, and that my purpose is attached to something that's greater than me, outside of myself. I said it many times before. I couldn't even take me out, because my life is ordained and set aside by God. So you have to, in order to get up and fight through your promise daily, you have to have a faith every day. And it's interesting when people say they don't believe in anything, right? Science does not explain you confidently making plans for the future, because you don't know if you're gonna be here, but you have faith that you will. So you have to have a level of faith to do this thing here. I make mistakes daily, and I do mean daily. I really do. But I understand grace and mercy, and I understand moving forward confidently. This whole, it is, there are many times where I begin to walk a staircase, and I don't know what the next step is going to be. But I know that because my life is hidden in Christ, that next step is going to be everything that I need it to be. It's going to be everything that's going to be beneficial for me. So I would encourage you to increase your faith. I mean, I'm not going to get into the weekly challenge, but increase your faith. Number 3, reframe your thoughts about failure. My daughter was once told one time by her academic advisor that she had failed something. She put fail on the paper. And she said to my daughter, do you know what this means? And my daughter goes, I'm a failure. And the woman looks at my daughter and goes, first attempt in learning. And for many of us, there really is no rule books to life, right? We all are just going some days. Even when you plan, you're planning on you're planning based on what you don't even really truly know yet. So for many of us, this is, we ain't never life before. If you believe in reincarnation, do you remember it? Okay then. So, Many of these things are going to be opportunities for us to learn and grow and get better. But we look at it as I failed, I messed up, I made a mistake, I failed. Instead of looking at it as, and listen, this is me talking to me right now. I don't know about, I hope y'all getting this, but right now this is me talking to me. We look at ourselves like, okay, I failed. I remember that when I had my divorce, I felt like I let everyone down, including my daughter. And I began to realize that I would only let people down if I had stayed down. If I had never gotten better, if I had never gotten up, my daughter would not have a mother that she could look up to. And I would still be bitter. I would not be sitting here doing this with you all today. So, through that came growth, healing, purpose, and confidence. Reframe what you're thinking about when you think about your losses and your failures. Let's reframe that. What looked like failure and what looked like falling apart actually were things ending up where they were supposed to be. My life was being restructured and I didn't even know it. I'm sorry. I like my earrings, y'all. My life was being restructured and I didn't even know it. And I was on the verge of becoming the woman I was supposed to be and didn't even know it. So, reframe what you think about how you think about failure. I do not think that I fail anymore. No matter what it is. I see it as I'm restructuring. Number 3, build momentum with the small wins and go out and do. We begin to think our confidence gets lower because we're not able to tackle these big things that we see everybody else doing. But what we see everybody else doing is A, stop comparing yourself, A. B, everyone starts small and then gets to the big things. For every big thing, there are small steps to get there. For every big building, it starts with the foundation. Actually, it starts with some dirt and some land and digging up that land. It's small steps to get to the big one. So build it on the small steps. I often will have my coaching, I used to have my group coaching. When I did group coaching, I used to have them share their wins. And I used to have them focus on their wins. Not because I wanted them to have this exaggerated sense of self, but I wanted to build their confidence in the smaller wins so that they can then tackle the bigger wins. And when I have clients who have these huge goals, I say, all right, that's the goal. Let's break it down. Let's reverse engineer this and break it down into smaller steps so we can get there. So celebrate even the small wins, because even the small wins are going to help with the big wins. Number 4. Birds. Number 5, excuse me. Y'all, look. Number 5, and this is the last shift talk point. Really protect your confidence. Protect it aggressively. People get what I've learned from that back in like 2017, 18, 19, is that people get really uncomfortable around highly confident people, especially if they themselves are not. That's not your problem though. Now, you can step in and you can help them reach their confidence. You can help them get more confidence. You can help them understand their confidence. I know a woman named Destiny Inspired. That's her entire, that's her program. That's her brand. But you can't do that at the detriment of losing yourself. You can't help somebody gain their confidence by you pushing yours down. It just simply doesn't work that way. So, protect your confidence. Keep your head high no matter what. And if somebody doesn't understand your confidence, you can try to explain it if you want to. I'm not a big fan of explaining my confidence. I'm not a big fan of explaining myself at all, in all honesty. I said what I said, right? So, you're going to try and explain it, and that's fine too, but you don't need to. It's yours. It's yours. And it's yours to protect. It's yours to get. It's yours to keep. And get comfortable having uncomfortable conversations about people that may need to leave your life because of it. The reality is not everyone's going to want to be around you when you develop more confidence. It's so funny. You could have been in your lowest point and those people would have been like, okay, as long as they're helping you and saw you at your lowest point, it was fine for them. But now that they see you empowered, it's a problem. Those people don't need to say. And it's uncomfortable and it hurts. Sure, but I mean, you could exit stage left. And that's on some real stuff. No matter what it all is, it is this joy I have, the world didn't give it. and the world can't take it away. This confidence that I have, the world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away. Nor will you. So, I can go on and on and on about confidence. I can go on and on about building it. This video would be mad long. It's already longer than what I wanted. I was trying to cut it down to 30 minutes, but whatever. Let's get into our Shift Talk Weekly Challenge. This is an easy one. You're going to love this one. I promise. So, Shift Talk Weekly Challenge. Okay, so Shift Talk Weekly Challenge. Super quick, super easy, but something I do want you to meditate on, okay? I want you to tell me one thing you have not survived. Tell me, quickly now, quickly. Tell me one thing you have not survived. Can't do it, right? Because there's nothing that has killed you. Because you're here watching this video. You've survived it all, which means that it's safe to say that you have a track record for winning. So because you have a track record for winning, you get the right to be confident in yourself. And I really want you to think about that as we go throughout this week. There is not one thing that you have not survived. You have won everything. You have been victorious over everything. It may have been some hard gained victories now. It may have been some hard won battles, but you won them. But you won them. So your Shift Talk Weekly Challenge is to really meditate on that. There's nothing that has broken you. You are still here living, breathing. Which means, guess what? You get the right to be a little sure of yourself. I will see you all next week. Have a blessed Sunday. What I will tell you is next week, there will be a Shift Talk Live next week. But then the following week, there will not. Your girl is having a lot of heavy dental work done. So I will be doing Shift Talk Sunday this weekend. But then I'm going to have to take a break because I won't be able to speak. So I think they said for about 5 to 10 days after I won't be able to speak. So next Sunday will be a Shift Talk Sunday, and then after that it'll be that I think it's only we only need to take like a day off or something, like a week off. But I'm excited about my dental work. But anyways, you all have a beautiful week. You're not arrogant. You're confident. There's a difference. Go boldly forth in that confidence.